Hello guys, welcome back to TFD. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you never miss an upload. Paige Bueckers just got her WNBA Participation Trophy Award. Yeah, you heard me right. We all knew this was coming before she was even drafted, before she even stepped foot on the floor as a pro. But now it's official, and here we are. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all the love and support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's get into it. So, Paige Bueckers is officially your 2025 WNBA Rookie of the Year. The final voting? An absolutely insane 70-2. Yep, Sonia Citron got just 2 votes, and honestly, that's a disgrace. I don't even know how you look at the season she had, the consistency, the fact she played every single game, and decide she doesn't deserve more respect in the race. And here's where it gets even funnier. Let's take a little reminder from the expert panel themselves. Monica McNutt, you guys know her. She was on halftime coverage during the Fever vs. Dream game last night. And she gave her words of wisdom about how Rookie of the Year should be determined. Her exact words? My Rookie of the Year is going to go based on the standings, because that's how you measure impact.
My Rookie of the Year is going to go based on the standings.
Okay.
Because I think that is how you have the opportunity to measure impact.
Now keep in mind, Monica McNutt is the voice they roll out to break things down for fans. She's on air, presenting herself as the basketball authority. And according to her logic, the Rookie of the Year is simply the rookie whose team finishes higher in the standings. Case closed. Well, let's look at the facts. Washington Mystics finished 16-28. Dallas Wings, 10-34. And Paige Bueckers' team? 9 wins. 9. She played in 36 of 44 games, while Sonia Citron was out there in all 44, giving everything night after night. Yet somehow, someway, Bueckers still walks away with the crown. This isn't even new. Remember last year when they were desperate to push Angel Reese into the Rookie of the Year conversation? The Chicago Sky had a slightly better record than Indiana at the start, and the talking heads latched on to this same narrative. Oh, well, the better record means bigger impact. Never mind the actual production, never mind the context. Just twist the story until it fits who they want to promote. But once Indiana turned things around, once Caitlin Clark and the Fever actually started winning, funny how that logic disappeared overnight. Suddenly, team standings didn't matter anymore. The narrative vanished. And now, here we are again, watching history repeat itself, with Bueckers crowned as the face, not because of pure merit, but because the league and media already decided she would be. Never heard that logic again once it didn't fit their agenda. Never, never, never. Because we need to talk about this Rookie of the Year situation, and I mean really talk about it. Monica McNutt made it very, very clear, and she was spot on. The fact that Sonia Citron only had 2 votes is absolutely delusional. I'm not even standing here saying Sonia should have been the clear-cut Rookie of the Year winner, but let's be honest, after the season she had, for her to walk away with just 2 votes? That's insulting. And here's the thing, this isn't just about stats, or even performances on the court. This is about how the WNBA operates. Narrative is what matters to them. Narrative drives decisions, and Paige Bueckers was the anointed one long before she even stepped on the floor. The league has been waiting for her, hyping her up, and making sure she's positioned as the face of women's basketball. And look, I get it. Paige checks every box the WNBA wants. Marketable. Popular. That's undeniable. But when you're talking about awards, especially Rookie of the Year, it should at least be a fair fight. Anyone being honest about basketball will tell you that Sonia earned way more respect than 2 measly votes. Some people might lean Paige, others Sonia, and that's fine. That's basketball. That's debate. But a 70-2 blowout? That's not a debate. That's a narrative being forced. At the end of the day, it's not that Paige didn't deserve recognition, she did. But to disrespect Sonia's season like that just shows where the league's priorities really are. And let's be real, this won't be the last time we see it happen. They completely disagreed with Sonia Citron only getting 2 votes. And honestly, when I dug a little deeper into it, I found something even wilder that I'll get to in just a second. But let's first talk about Washington. Yeah, the Mystics. I know people mix up Washington sometimes, but we're talking Mystics here. They clearly shifted direction this season. Trading away an all-star like Brittany Sykes wasn't just a random move, it was a clear signal. They were going full youth movement. This wasn't a team built to win right now. This was a team resetting, retooling, and looking toward the future. They drafted Sonia, they drafted Kiki Iriafen, and both of those moves were spot on. I know some folks love Ariel Atkins, and don't get me wrong, she's solid, but the Mystics making that move to secure Sonia's spot in the draft was the right call. You're talking about a team that's trying to build long-term, to put together a real foundation for the next 5-10 years. So when they still manage to pull off 16 wins, people downplay it like, oh well, Dallas was terrible. Hold on, Dallas had talent. Did everyone just forget Ariik Ogunbowale exists? She was literally the league's leading scorer just a few years ago. She was an MVP candidate. She even won the All-Star MVP last season. So it's not like Paige was walking into some wasteland with nothing around her. The problem in Dallas has always been chemistry. They've got individual talent, but they could never figure out how to make it click together. And here's the thing, when you're supposed to be that player, that franchise cornerstone, you don't just put up numbers. You elevate everyone else around you. And that's exactly where this debate about Sonia's lack of recognition gets messy, because the context matters way more than people want to admit. And Paige Bueckers doesn't do that. That's the thing nobody seems to want to talk about. Paige Bueckers just became the first Rookie of the Year in WNBA history to come from a team that finished with under 10 wins. Let that sink in. Now, yes, technically Dallas finished with 10 wins, but here's the kicker. One of those came in a game Paige didn't even play. She suited up for 36 of the 44 games this season, and Dallas won only 9 of them with her on the floor. 9. That's it. That's your Rookie of the Year resume? We're talking about less than a quarter of the games being victories when she was out there leading the charge. And for people trying to spin that into some sort of accomplishment, it just doesn't make sense. Normally, the Rookie of the Year comes from a player who not only puts up numbers but also makes a clear impact on their team's success, even if that team isn't a title contender. It's about value, impact, and elevating the group. Paige didn't do that. You can't ignore the fact that Dallas was almost unwatchable for stretches, and when your supposed star rookie can't even crack double-digit wins while on the court, that tells a much bigger story than whatever her highlight reel tries to cover up. This isn't hating, it's just facts. Numbers don't lie. 9 wins with her. That's the entire case. And the WNBA gave her Rookie of the Year anyway. And then let me show you. Seriously, you've got to see this for yourself. Check out these numbers, because once you look at them side by side, it really puts things into perspective. We're talking about 44 games played, a 47% field goal percentage, 44.5% from 3, and not on a tiny sample size either. That's over 4 attempts per game, 4.1 threes to be exact. This isn't someone throwing up 1 3 a night. This is volume with accuracy. Add in a 55.6% effective field goal percentage. Shooting 87.2% from the line. Only 2.1 turnovers. 1.3 steals. 0.4 blocks. 4 rebounds per game. That's efficiency stacked across the board. And we've all heard it, right? The constant narrative, Paige Bueckers is the most efficient player we've ever seen. The media says it over and over like it's gospel truth. But wait, those numbers I just gave you? Those aren't Paige's. That's Sonia Citron. Now let's compare. Paige shot just 33.1% from 3 on 3.3 attempts per game. Sonia took more threes, hit them at a much higher clip, and did it while being defended far tougher. Effective field goal percentage? Paige at 51.3%. Sonia at 55.6%. That's more than a 4% gap, which is massive when you're talking about efficiency. From deep, Sonia was over 11% better than Paige. Free throws, okay, Paige edges her out slightly, 88.8% compared to Sonia's 87.2%. But turnovers? Basically identical. Paige at 2.0, Sonia at 2.1. Washington steals? Paige 1.6, Sonia 1.3. Again, marginal. Rebounds? Sonia actually averages more, 4.0 compared to Paige's 3.9. Now, yes, Paige does score more points, 19.2 to Sonia's 14.9. But here's the kicker, Paige gets there by taking over 15 shots per game. Sonia? Less than 11. So Sonia is the more efficient scorer by far, and yet the narrative paints Paige as this flawless model of efficiency. That's the problem. We were sold this story of Paige as a runaway rookie of the year because she's different, efficient, special. But when you line up the stats, when you actually take the time to compare, Sonia stacks up as the more efficient and arguably more impactful player. Yet Paige runs away with 70 votes while Sonia gets 2. That's embarrassing for the WNBA. And it's not even the first time we've seen this. Remember back in 2021 when Paige won National Player of the Year as a freshman at UConn? 20 points, 4.9 boards, 5.8 assists. Solid numbers, sure. But she was surrounded by stacked talent, and still, the media machine pushed the Paige narrative to the front. And here we are again years later, same story, same results. But hey, you know what? You know who didn't win? And wasn't even a finalist? Caitlin Clark. Yeah, Caitlin Clark back in 2021, putting up 26.2 points, 5.9 rebounds, 7.1 assists on an Iowa team that was nowhere near as talented as UConn. But individually, Clark was clearly the better player. Yet somehow, Paige Bueckers walks away with the hardware. And this is the pattern, right? Paige keeps stacking up what I call participation trophies. Not because she's bad, she's obviously a good player, but because she checks the right boxes. And one of those boxes is being part of what people call the UConn Basketball Mafia. And let me be clear, that's not me making some political statement. It's just the reality of how much influence Gino Orima and that program have had. His connections with USA Basketball, with the WNBA, with media voters, it all adds up. So here we are again, the WNBA embarrassing itself with how this whole Rookie of the Year race played out. Honestly, to me, this is just as bad as last year when Angel Reese actually got a Rookie of the Year vote instead of Caitlin Clark winning it unanimously. Completely absurd. And now Sonia Citron is the one left out in the cold. And again, I'm not even saying Sonia was the clear-cut, no-doubt winner. My argument is simple, this vote should have been way closer. Closer to 50-50 between Paige and Sonia. Instead, Paige runs away with it while Sonia gets 2 votes. That's just disrespectful. But anyway, that's where we're at. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Was this a fair result? Or do you think the WNBA and the voters dropped the ball here? And don't go wrong, I am just a WNBA crater. I love Paige, I am just putting facts. I am fan all of them, Caitlin, Paige, and Sonia. When they play in college. So don't misunderstand. As always, I appreciate you for checking out this video. Do me a favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's keep the conversation going.